Hello and welcome back to our final lesson here in the financial unit. And last one is calculating overtime. So this is for jobs that are hourly pay. Okay, so hourly pay, because the other options you don't get the options for overtime. So we're in Ontario. So the option or the goal is I want you to be able to calculate overtime. Overtime in Ontario after 44 hours. Employer must pay at least, which means they can go more than that, at least 1.5 times your hourly rate. Okay, so in Ontario, once you hit 44 hours, anything after that is overtime, and you get 1.5 times your hourly rate. So how's that calculated? So I'll just do a couple of examples here. So your hourly rate, and then times 1.5 column, and OT pay. So $10, $12, and $14. So those are your hourly rates. So $10 an hour, $12 an hour, $14 an hour. So for each of these, as soon as you hit overtime in Ontario, you get 1.5. All right. So your OT pay then, 10 times 1.5. That means you start making $15 an hour after 44 hours. 12 times 1.5. That would be $18 an hour. And 14 times 1.5, that gives you 21. All right, so that's how you would calculate it for your OT. For your final pay, I shouldn't have taken up that much room for that, but final pay. So what you'll do is, number one, 44 hours multiplied by your rate. All right. Plus, number two, OT hours times rate times 1.5 equals your final pay. All right. So 44 hours times your rate plus OT hours, so anything over 44 times your rate times 1.5, add those together, and that will give you your final pay. So I have a couple of examples with that. Tommy gets $11.40 an hour. This week he worked a 50-hour week. What is his weekly earnings? All right, so I'm going to set it up at the same time, or the same way. So regular pay, that's equal to a 44-hour week multiplied by 1140. All right. So, oops, where's my calculator here? So 44 times 1140, and we got 501 and 60. Now his OT pay, this is equal to 6 hours. All right. So I'm going to go over here. 50 minus 44 is 6. All right. And that's where I got that 6 from. So I have to take total hours worked, and I have to take 44 off because you only get overtime for anything over 44 times 11.4 times 1.5. So working 6 hours of overtime, he will make, doing that calculation there, an additional $102.60. We add those together. So plus 501.6, and you'd have a total of $604.20. Therefore, final pay is $604.20. All right. Now, just as an you don't have to do this every time. I just want to show you those 6 hours times 1140. So what happens if those 6 hours were just regular pay? Just the difference? It's $68.40. So if you look at it, you made 102 on overtime. If it was just regular pay, you made $70. So you made an extra $30 working those extra 6 hours in terms of that 1.5. Okay? So that's how you would have to do your calculation. All right? So one more example. This time Tommy's getting $12.50 an hour. He worked a 60-hour week. So not uncommon for construction to work 60-hour weeks if you work for some of the local construction companies. In the summer, 60-hour week is pretty much the standard. What's his weekly earnings? All right, so I'll set it up the same way. So you got regular pay. So that's 44 hours is the max in Ontario. Each province is different. So you'd have to Google overtime rules for the province, but for Ontario it is 44 times $12.50. I'm just going to get this set up before I get the calculator out. OT pay. So off to the side here, 60-hour week minus 44. So now you worked 16 hours of overtime. So 16 times 1250 times 1.5. That was too big there. There we go. All right. So now we just need the calculator out to do these calculations. So 44 times 1250. So for the regular time, Tommy gets $550. Now 16 hours of overtime. So that's basically, think of it this way, it's like working a full Saturday, okay? So you work a 6-day week, 10 hours a day, all right? So long hours, but like I said, it's not uncommon. Agriculture, when it's time to take off beans or wheat, yeah, there's no quitting time. So almost made, in 16 hours of overtime, you make $300. So you're almost making the same as what you did for the first part of the week. Add that together, and you end up with a paycheck of $850 just for that week. So therefore, final pay is $850. All right, so that's how it's done. Take off the 44, multiply your wage by the 1.5, and that'll get you your total overtime. All right, so you're onto a worksheet. The worksheet's just going to be calculating overtime here in Ontario. Like I said, every province, if you're thinking about going out to another province, you can Google and find out what the overtime laws are in that particular province, but the calculation will stay the same except for that 44. So anyway, finish up the worksheet, show it to the teacher, and move on to the next unit. Great job on this one.